live stream.
We haven't been going to it. Yeah. Muted. Gam, we got it. You know, this is just a typical Brainy Beaver problem. You know, I just fucking leave myself muted. That's the best way to operate, is that you just don't send the audio to the fucking stream. So they just sit here and get to look at us just talk to each other, you know? Just, you know, just. You guys are on a delay, Hayward. When are you going to figure out that when I type fixed in the live chat, it's fixed? You just got to get there now. I run a delay so that when somebody drops the wrong word on a stream, they can scrub that from the internet before it ever existed. Somebody's like, why do you run a 15-second delay? I'm like, 15 seconds is like a time machine. You have enough time.
Plus, it's a podcast. It's not a live stream.
Mine's a live stream, right? When I'm live streaming. So it's like, 15 seconds. 15 seconds are like, that's not very long. I'm like, well, think about it. It's enough time for you to have something happen, think about it, decide that you don't want that to go out, and then go to click the end stream and discard delay. Like, it's enough time for you to make the decision. Whereas if you're only running 3 or 4 seconds, by the time you even decide to do it, it's out.
Exactly.
If you could dox somebody, you could suddenly show like porn. It doesn't matter what you do. You could do anything like that. And at least with 15 seconds, you have enough time to go, nope, bad. Just get rid of that right now. And you just hit discard delay. And all that happens is it throws the delay, the buffer. It just throws it in the trash. Like it didn't exist before sending it out. And then you just start the stream again. You just hit start stream. And then everybody's like, what happened? And you're like, technical difficulties, everybody. Don't worry. Racism isn't alive and well. I'm kidding, of course. But
yeah, it was the other thing I was thinking. Like, I thought there was a delay when but whatever.
Well, there's a delay. Then once they start screaming mute at me all the time, and then they've got to wait. So then what happens is by the time I figure it out, I fix it, and then they spend the next 20 seconds still yelling mute at me.
Yeah, Phoenix and I were talking about how 15 seconds is a long time. Like 15 seconds in podcast land is like, what's wrong with my phone? Did I lose signal?
What do you mean if the whole thing's running behind by 15 seconds? I just always have to remind my fans that they're running a delay on me. I mean, I could reduce it to 10, but I'd never want to go less than 10 seconds. I want enough time to think about what happened, decide that, because you have that moment where you're like, wait a minute, is this bad? Is this good? You're like, no, that's not right. That's not good. Like you just have to have that thought process first for a second.
Of course. I just wasn't staying on topic, that's all.
Somebody goes, you know, you just dock somebody, and you're like, no. And then all of a sudden you're like, yes. Like, yeah, discard. Like, it's fucking, like, there's all kinds of different situations where that button could come in handy. That's all. Quarter minute is a nice delay. It gives you a little bit of time to make the mistake and then turn the time back. It's one of the only places in our life where we get a fucking redo button. Let's use it. Like, it's, because in life, when you do things, you're like, oh, I wish I could have saved my game before I did this.
It's like, dear Twitter, can you please put in an edit button? For
the love of God, I have to delete the entire tweet and retweet the goddamn thing.
And then, yeah, after 100 retweets and a bunch of likes and shit, that, you know.
Well, but wait a minute, no. You don't get to go back and edit your black comment or your racist comment about the Eskimo there or something. You don't get to take that back, Frank. By the way, I believe in what I'm actually saying. Like, you don't get to take that back. you don't get to go and edit that out of existence.
I'm talking about because of the grammar police out there. I'm tired of.
You know what? I just flipped them the bird. So here's the thing. I get so many characters, and I skipped a letter. So eat my balls is what I say to them every time. Like, go to hell.
I don't care. It's like, you know what?
They always fix my your. They go, maybe you're not so brainy, Mr. Beaver, because you used your wrong. I'm like, okay. What I said to the one guy is, I said, here's the thing that's funny. I said, you responded to what I said, meaning that you understood how I was using the your, meaning that really, was it necessary to include it? No, because you knew what I was saying. Was it necessary for you to say anything about it? Well, no, because you still knew what the fuck I was saying. I said, so at the end of the day, I can't give a shit because you still knew what I fucking wrote.
Yo, I write your as you are all the time.
I just do it. I just don't care. YOUR. You know what the fuck I wrote. God, you can suck the tip of my.
it's text so you can understand what I'm saying to you. Just because, it's not a book. I didn't submit a book
This is what I
report.
say to people. I'm like, listen, when we're writing a thesis, then we'll get into the grammar. But
For
like
real.
right now, I tweeted at your dumbass. Like, get a
Exactly. It's like,
life.
dude, I butcher tweets to no end just to fit the character length because I have
Well,
to always
yeah.
put
And then
things.
but even then, even if
You
it's just a legitimate, I just,
kiss
I,
my kiss my ass, person who doesn't do anything but, you know,
I'll point
absorb
out a
my
grammar mistake just to light
brain.
somebody up, so they come back and go after my grammar mistakes, and then I say, "Well, I didn't say I didn't have grammar mistakes. I just thought I'd get y'all get y'all riled up by pointing out yours." It's just like I was like, "Whoa, buddy!" It's like all you're doing is jumping through the hoops I put out. Like,
There's this guy Adrian Ricard, or he's betterly known as IndyCar UK in the Twitter motorsport IndyCar world, which is very niche, I know, but uh, there's a lot of us. So, um, yeah, and every freaking tweet, every bio I write, he just for the last 5 years, every week, got it. He gives me the weekly fuck up report for the last 5 years, and he's a Brit. He's British, so yeah, that's why.
boo, boo to Frank. No, I was listening. He's British. British people are allowed to swear, you know. Oh, blimey, blimey.
Frank
What did I
once
say?
corrected me on
Jolly,
a
jolly
tweet.
good, Frank. Jolly good, Frankie.
You
Hell is this? Why is it in French?
mean I was joking with you, Greg? Is that what you meant on Twitter? Like I never do that? I don't think I've ever tweeted to Greg on purpose, like legit. Every time I ever tweet at Greg, it's always a joke. Sure, he's the butt of them, but that's the fun of it. I love Greg.
Man, I got an
Anyway,
email completely in French. Like not even like an English portion of it. Like the whole thing's in French.
shouldn't you be able to read it,
Yes, because
Canadian?
all Canadians can read another language. Because
Or you
we're all bilingual, every one of us.
aren't you French Canadian?
Me? The
Yeah,
fuck?
I don't know.
Dude, there's only one French Canadian province, and while there are French Canadians all over the country, there is literally one spot where the French Canadians are like primary, and it's Quebec.
I was gonna say
I mean, I live in a province that has like you can drive to a town called Saint Malo or Saint Jean Baptiste or
Aren't you
whatever. They're
from
little French
Quebec?
towns, and there's going to be French people there, but I'm not in a French part of. There's no other French parts of Canada really, other than like little French hovels within those other provinces and stuff.
I thought you were from Quebec.
No, I live in Manitoba. I'm like directly above
Oh,
McToon, and I could hit Minneapolis St. Paul with a rock.
McToon?
MC2.
Oh, him. Okay, right. I didn't know he
Hit
was
Minneapolis
Canadian.
St. Paul, I could hit it with a stone. Not literally, but figuratively. It's straight down the highway.
Speaking of Minneapolis, what the fuck, guys? Like, literally, why are you burning shit down?
Hey, don't make fun of my fucking rioting. It makes sense. I'm gonna burn down the low-income housing that was being built for my friends.
It's fun.
And that's not a reference of race. That's just a reference of let's burn down the low-income housing that they're building in an area of the city that needs low-income housing so that now we don't have any low-income housing. This is really a good decision for all of us. This is going to make our rent prices really go in the right direction, isn't it? Like it's things like that that are kind of disparaging because you're like, that is stupid. You're literally burning down a building that's being funded and built for the prime purpose of making sure there's affordable places to live in that part of the city. Which I'm not saying that everything's perfect, and maybe there's things that are go on within that are not great. But you know, what do you do?
I just don't get the point of it. Like,
Go after CNN too. Like, let's go after CNN because what? Because the windows are glass, really glass, and they break easy. Like, I don't understand. I'm not saying CNN aren't a bunch of motherfuckers at times, but you know.
Because a news crew in Kentucky was shot in the face with a pepper.
They arrested a CNN news crew in Minneapolis or something. It's funny,
I
on
didn't
one
hear
part
that.
of the city, on one side of the city, a white guy who identified himself as a reporter was allowed and had no camera crew was allowed to stay. They were like, okay, you're allowed to stay here, in the area because you're a reporter, right? They get like a bit of extra special, you're allowed to stay and report. But then on the other side of the city, a CNN crew with a African American or multicultural reporter, and I'm not sure if the crew was also multicultural, but either way, it was there was some multiculturalism occurring there. The main guy was very, very dark, and they absolutely fucking arrested them. Even though he was holding a CNN mic and he had a crew and everything, and he was telling them that he's a reporter. He's saying, listen, we'll move back. Where do you need us to move to? Just tell us where we need to go. If you need us to step out of the way, or like they were literally like, just like, but we're reporters, just tell us where to go. Like, say, if you don't want us here, just tell us to go over there. And
Anywhere.
they cuffed him and arrested them. Holy shit. But again, not the white guy on the other side of the city who all he had to do was go, whoa, I'm a reporter, I'm reporting with my phone. You're good.
Dude, cops do not like being recorded, man. I mean, look what happens. Riots
Yeah,
kind of
no,
start
but
that
you're
way.
missing the point. The white guy with his no recording crew got to stay on the road and record, and the only other CNN crew, which had black recording crew or a black host at the very least, or a dark host. I don't know what his culture is, but he was very much arrested. No matter what he said, he was very much arrested. And like, wow, it's like just drive it home while this is already an issue, and you're just gonna like, okay.
Like literally, the only reason I know that is even going on is Epoch News, or yeah, EPOCH. So how would you say that? Epoch e Anyway,
If there's no
Epic.
COVID spikes after this, I'm going to question a lot of things. I mean, the problem is, Gam, you have so many. I mean, okay, so COVID spikes. You mean in the population of people that are least likely to go in and get themselves checked for COVID because they don't have the money to pay for the test? I mean, that's the problem. It really depends on how you look at these situations. So there probably will be a spike, but the issue is like how many of these people are going to be asymptomatic, and the other thing is how many of these people are going to go in and get tested. Because in my country, if I want to get tested, I just go get tested because I say that I feel these are the problems I'm having, and they test me. Whereas in America, I believe you guys have to pay for it. You're not cheap either. I heard. I think it's like $400 or $500. How many people in the inner city have $400 or $500 to go get tested, or a health insurance plan that pays for it?
Should be free.
Well, of course it should fucking well be free because they should make it free so people can get tested. But that's not your healthcare system. And I'm not going to get into a healthcare debate, but I know that here it's free. There's no conversation. I've never at any point when they talked about testing ever even imagined my wallet even having to come out of my I would literally go and I would tell them my healthcare number and they would write it down, and then they would just like drive up there to like the same way with the drive-through thing where you drive up and they jam the thing down your fucking throat. Like they stick it up through your, apparently it's not pleasant, it goes all the way up through your nose and all the way like to the back, like they really scrape the inside of your nasal passage. It's like, think of like an STD test with your penis but for your nose.
Jesus Christ.
My brother told me that he would absolutely purposely never. My brother told me, have you ever had an STD test?
Yeah.
I've never had one. I haven't philandered that enough. Like I've had my fun, but there was a lot of condoms involved. I've done okay. So you've actually had that? Because apparently it is the worst fucking thing ever.
Yeah, I could tell you a story if you like.
Sure, give her. Yuck. At the same time as yeah.
Okay, so, my my wife is a nurse for Cooper. Cooper is there's Cooper Hospital, and then there's a bunch of satellite offices everywhere. So my insurance is really cheap, but it's the best insurance you can have, and it's totally free as long as I use Cooper, right?
Okay.
And since our entire medical history is all on fucking line now, you know which I don't agree with, but whatever. Um, so my fucking doctor that I went to was a total bitch, and um, I had a urinary tract infection, right? And so she gave me that test or whatever, and she kept asking me if I was cheating on my wife. I'm like, no. I'm like, well, she cheated on you. I'm like, no. Are you sure? I'm like, yes. You know, and the thing of it is, the treatment is a shot in your ass and 2 pills, and that's it. That's all it is for that.
For
And I
that.
think for that, no, for urinary tract infection and for not or for gonorrhea, I think. Yeah, gonorrhea.
Unless you get
It's
the super
this,
gonorrhea. Ooh.
yeah, right.
It's true.
So,
It's true. It's actually true what I said, but what do you do?
so literally, the treatment it was that. So, um,
Peter.
for some reason, for
Kidding.
for some reason, to justify the meds, she put down gonorrhea instead of urinary tract infection.
Wait, so then they had to call your other partner? Is that how that works there? What happened then?
Well, I didn't know that she did that until 4 years later when Missy looked at my fucking medical record.
And saw that you'd had gonorrhea and then thought you cheated on her.
Yeah,
Yeah, awesome.
dude. Do you know how like do you
That's
like
awesome, dude. That's so awesome.
like how like that's why Missy is like
Hey there,
how
bro.
like right now, like you could easily say I don't believe you, and you would say I have evidence. You're full of shit because you know what I mean. You why would it? And it was a difference of doing a test in the lab or there or sending blood work out for the infection part. You know what I mean? And they didn't want to do that or something to save money. So I guess they had to put it in as the STD thing. I don't know.
Sweet.
Or maybe that's what they did to get more money out of the insurance company. I don't know.
Sounds like that
My
might really
point
screw up
being,
statistics.
yeah, but my point is like, no, yeah, it was total bullshit. But, and she believed me, but because it was the truth, but goddamn, like that's,
Well, that's how that
yeah,
shit can happen. Next thing you know, they're in a lawsuit because of it.
I thought about it. I did talk to a lawyer afterwards, but it would have cost me so much money to attempt the lawsuit in the first place. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, of course. No, no, I know that. I do
well,
know that.
I didn't have 20 grand on me to for a retainer. You know what I mean? And with hope that I'll win, and I'll get the 20 grand back plus a whole lot more. You know what I mean? Because as far as they're concerned, on paper, that's what I had. So case dismissed. And I'm a guy, so why would they believe me? Right? Isn't that how it goes in the judicial system? Right?
Uh, why would the judicial system be involved? Is that the whole America and cheating thing again, mattering for your marriage?
I was just talking to a lawyer to sue. A
Oh,
judge
about
would be
that
in.
part. Sorry, my mind, I got lost for a second again. Because that's the thing. Like we talked about that before. Like cheating
So
has some legal implications to a marriage in America, does it not?
of course it does. Well, I mean,
But well,
legal as in
you say of course it does, but I keep telling you that in Canada and most other nations in the world, that is a very much America thing.
no, but
If your
like
wife bangs the neighbor, it has nothing to do with the conversation of who gets what during the divorce.
oh, yeah, no, if you get caught, yeah, you know,
That's what
you
I'm
don't have
saying.
to
Like this whole this whole
you
hiring a
know,
private eye to record your wife
unless
fucking
you
somebody thing, it doesn't exist
un,
here because that means nothing. So what? Your wife was cheating on you. What does that have to do with anything? So you're getting a divorce. Great. So how much money do you make? How much money do you make? What do you have kids? How much, who has custody? And that's how they decide. It has fucking no bearing on whether or not they cheated on you and stuff. Has nothing to
it,
do with it.
it yeah, it's all
Because
to what
all it
end.
is the reason for divorce is infidelity or whatever it is, but that doesn't have a legal bearing on the process other than that is the reason for them wanting to terminate their marriage.
Yeah, no, I would say as far as legal here, it's probably, you know, you don't have a shot in hell to get your custody of your kids. You know, you bet unless your wife is a raging alcoholic or drug user,
Well, but I'm talking about what
which,
if the wife's the cheater? I mean, so like this is what I'm
well,
saying is like it makes
if
like it,
your
if the
wife's the cheater, then you have a shot, but you probably won't win
it's
because
just
you're a
not gonna
male.
cheating is just not gonna have a bearing in that part of the process in Canada. Whether you being an alcoholic or you being doing other dangerous things and stuff, that would all have a bearing. But you cheating on your wife, you banging somebody, that's not going to have any bearing. They don't give a shit about that for the kids or anything. That has nothing to do with you or your character. Because that's basically just a marital disagreement between, you know what I mean, like what's the way they treat it. It's no different than you just not getting along. I mean, because isn't there really ultimately that what leads to cheating in a lot of cases anyways, is not getting along and stuff anyways? I mean, really. So it's just a difference in personality. They're obviously not meant for each other.
Yeah, I mean, or you just want to fuck everything or that
Well, whatever
moves.
the reason, but they're not in agreement on where they want their. That's all it is. That's all they treat it as. There's just not an agreement with where they want their lives to go. So that's
Well,
it. That's
that's the difference between men and women. Like men are intrasexual, where women are the other
I
way.
don't know what you're saying there though. Like,
Men look for looks and whatever in a woman, where a woman will look for
well, that's
stability.
both true and not true. I mean, come on, look at the women taking guys home from the bar, like the stud home from the bar, and well, she
Think
has a
on
boyfriend or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or husband or whatever. I mean, come on, like
of course
that has nothing to do with anything other than just looks.
no, it's just data. It's on, you know, on average.
No, I know what
Oh,
you mean. That's why you can have a lot of fat. You'll see a lot of fat guys with skinny women, but you don't see a lot of skinny guys with fat chicks. Like as an example. Well, yeah, I know.
guilt.
Like I'm slightly overweight. My wife was definitely the looker of the two of us. You know.
Oh yeah, like yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Number
for
one
sure.
thing.
I was the reacher on the looks.
Yeah, number one thing said to me since I started podcasting with Missy, is did you get her?
Never wrong. I don't quite have mine right now, so we'll see. We'll have that conversation again.
Well, money on my looks. Oh, that's what I say. Yeah, that's the best response I've come up with.
Bom, bom.
Yeah,
Man, I'm tired.
because my big old hog. That's why.
Oh, we could definitely only make this one an hour today. I'm pretty bagged up.
Fuck yeah, dude. I've worked eight almost. I've worked a total of, let's see. I've worked the last 2 weeks. Um, I worked 152 hours. Yep. Cheers to that. Yeah. Saturday night worked all night. Sunday night worked all night. Monday night worked all day. You know, I was supposed to have off Monday because it was a holiday. No, it was Memorial Day. By the way, happy Memorial Day. Thanks. Thank you for, everything you guys do out there. Have a few veterans or friends, you know, and they're good people, But so thank you. And I,
So, how's it going?
as far as
Just start
the
from the
past
beginning again.
wars and all, dude, like you don't hear a lot about Canada, but you guys are like badass, dude. You're like New Zealand. The New Zealand army are like fucking. They're badass, but nobody ever talks about them. You know,
No,
all
you
you
know, got to deal with. That's
all
what you got to do when you got to be awesome when you don't have the weapons that other countries have, right? So.
that's my point. Like, well, Canada, I wouldn't say is like a third world country or anything. Your army's pretty well equipped.
No, it's a
Right?
medium power. We're a medium power. But I mean, come on. Like
But in
you
like
guys,
the
but
world,
dude, we got to put things in context. Okay, so we're medium power and we could take on lots of countries, but you got to remember, like you look at where we. Okay, so America was buying something like I think 2,500 of those new fighter jets, those stealth fighter jets. I think we were gonna order 65 of them. So like we gotta put numbers in where they belong here. Like you can we're a middle power only because there's people shooting weapons that they still got back in Korea. But beyond that, we aren't exactly like there's only 36 million of us. This is not exactly like a lot of us here, and we don't really put the money that other countries put towards the military. So while we have good equipment, we just have a lot less of it.
yeah, yeah. This country, like it, it needs to be involved in 4 wars at one time. It has to justify the amount of money that goes towards it. You know, I mean, if we're not in 4 wars simultaneously, then you know we need to cut back a bit, I think. But hey, speaking of the military, um, because the amount of money that goes to every year, NASA with their .6 cents on the dollar, which is like nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Um, Finally put 2 men into orbit today successfully on a
Yeah,
Falcon
that was
9.
pretty awesome. Yeah, I was watching.
I cried, dude. I cried.
You
I,
pansy. Just kidding.
I was, dude. I've been following this thing since the beginning. You know, ever since Elon Musk fucking bitch slapped ULA down in front of Congress like a boss. You know,
Because it was bullshit. They were giving them a ton of money and they weren't even giving SpaceX a chance because ULA's proved themselves. It's like, well, with an attitude like that, you'll never have anything but really high prices from ULA.
well, for 500 million, they better fucking be have a great record. You know, they were getting 450 million before SpaceX came along, dude.
Well, but not even
450
yeah. But you got to remember their
million.
rocket's way more expensive to launch. They're
They're
like what is it?
not.
The ULA Atlas, is it the Atlas 4? It's a way more expensive rocket than the Heavy is.
Uh, no,
It is, man. Why do you think
no, it's
SpaceX?
no,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. No,
Yeah, it
it's
is. Yeah, it
why?
is because they throw it in
Why?
the garbage.
Why? Okay, fine.
It costs like triple to throw that rocket up than it costs to throw a Heavy up.
No. It costs ULA a lot more than SpaceX to continually have a rocket to fire than the rocket itself. So
Well,
that's where the cost comes
they
from.
charge like $450 million to do the same thing that SpaceX will do for 160, and SpaceX is
No,
still making, like 100 million a launch. Like it's
no. The cheapest SpaceX launch so far has been like I think he's gotten it down to 70 million.
well, I'm talking about the
Yeah.
Heavy though. The Heavy's 160 to launch
Oh well, the
to
heavy.
launch
Yeah,
the
well, that's
Heavy with
three of them.
the Heavy with like a U.S. spy satellite is about 160, 170 million. I think it might be a
Well,
180
yeah,
even.
yeah, but they jacked the price up too because
Well, because their closest competition is ULA at fucking 450 goddamn thousand
no,
dollars or something
you're
like that.
more. No,
Or I mean
ULA
450 million. Sorry.
No, ULA is down to like about 140 million now.
No,
They had
that's
to
not possible on that rocket. They're not even making money at that
look it
point.
up. Look it up. I'm telling you, they have to even get a contract. You know, I'm telling dude, uh, you can't justify spending. I mean, how much more is that than SpaceX? Well, how many more time? You can't justify 600% more just because.
Well, right here it says that they're still charging $460 million a launch, and they proposed a price of $90 million.
Uh, what? Oh, it hasn't happened yet, or are you reading something from like 4 years ago, or is that when was that written? Just curious, because I know it was going like lower, but I guess it hasn't happened yet. But I know at least it is because I remember reading
In
that.
June
But
2017, Ars Technica analyzed U.S. Air Force budget and concluded that ULA would be selected for all Air Force launches in the year 2020 and 2021. The cost of her launch would be an order of $420 million per launch. Um,
yeah, but I think that I
and I'm
think
telling you, they
is
can't
that the
they can't
cost,
launch a
or
rocket for that
is,
cost.
is, is that the total cost of the
That's the
payload and the rocket,
no
or is
no
that
that's the
just
cost. No, that's the price they charge to launch. The payload is paid for by the customer.
no? Because because those spy satellites are so. You know
Cost
what
of
they're
Delta
paying
4
for?
heavy launches is down. Here,
You know
let's
what
see.
they're paying, dude. You know what they're really paying for is record, because those spy
SpaceX's
satellites are.
record's catching up now. Only because they wasn't
Yeah, but
launched before.
but
Okay, so
ULA
right
is
here
a hundred.
it says the announcement drew some reaction on social media, mostly from space industry watchers who know that the Delta IV heavy launches in recent years have commanded a price tag of about 350 million. To observers, the 149 million price, yeah, there you go, for one mission, or the 467.5
Yeah,
million for 3 Delta IV heavy missions did not make any sense. For perspective, the Air Force in June awarded SpaceX a $130 million contract for a Falcon heavy launch in 2020 of the Air Force Space Command 52 spacecraft, blah, blah, blah. The explanation is that there is more to the story. The Air Force's $467.5 million contract for 3 Delta IV heavy launches is one portion of what the government would actually pay to launch the NRO missions. Launches that are funded through the multiple contracting vehicles, although the Air Force says the cost of the Delta IV heavy launches has come down, it certainly has not dropped by half. So it's saying that that's actually not that's not as low as that says it is.
hmm yeah.
Documents obtained by Space News had some light for this. For starters, the $467.5 million contract is just for the production of 3 launch vehicles. This covers hardware and labor costs that are paid in advance to ULA because these are complex missions for which it takes 4 years to prepare. The blah 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 blah. May 9th is
It
for
takes them 4 years to build one rocket to throw away.
well, but they're complex missions, so they might have to have different kinds of fuels and stuff, the cryogenics and things like that, right? So
No, it's a rocket. They use the
no,
same
nope,
space
nope, nope.
exploration.
You're fucking wrong, Frank. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're
No,
wrong.
you're
No,
right.
what you're saying is
You're right.
wrong.
I am wrong, and you're right
Depending on what you're
because
doing, you have to use different
the
kinds
way
of fuels because
ULA,
different
yeah,
fuels have different specific impulse. They have
no,
different amounts of energy that they have at
but
different pressures and
ULA is the most I would say the most unique, with that giant fireball that comes around the rocket before it takes off,
yeah,
and
but
that's
not even just
normal.
you got first stage is nothing. First stages are typically kerosenes and stuff like that.
I'm
The
I'm just saying it's
It's
unique
about the
to
second
ULA.
stage. It's about the second stage, Frank. When you're sending something into space and it's going to have, like, if you, for instance, if you use a cryogenic fuel and you're spending it into space where it's going to need to use that fuel over a long period of time, Frank, your cryogenic fuel will boil away. You'll have none left. It'll literally just boil away. The pressure gets vented because it has to, and as it warms up over time, because there's nothing to keep it cool, it boils away. And so then you end up with no fuel. So when you're sending certain kinds of missions up and they need to spend certain amounts of time and certain, up in space and stuff and actually have fuel, you need to send different kinds of fuel, or it has to have cooling systems to then keep the cryogenic fuel at a cryogenic state so it doesn't boil off constantly and have to be vented to space. So, like, honestly, the type of fuel, and then that changes the type of
But,
engine you need to use. The plumbing all gets reworked. Everything has to
but,
change because of that.
you agree with me, like the way ULA,
Oh yeah, yeah, that's cool, but
it is really cool.
that's a unique thing for them. It's weird.
It almost looks like the rocket's blowing up, sort of. Which, by
Apparently,
the
that's
way,
one of the reasons why they couldn't get that. There's no way that rocket would be approved for human space flight is because of the way it engulfs itself.
I know. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in a capsule and just like, oh my God, we're on fire.
The whole thing just like lights up as it
just
takes off.
yeah, just like this big, this big fireball,
That
and
has something to do
things.
with. I can't remember if that's the fuel type or if it has something to do with the way their engines
Yeah,
work or something.
no, it's the fuel.
But the upper stage matters when you're going up there, because if you're sending like a long space
Because
mission into space and stuff, you need certain types of fuel because some will boil off, and you need to make sure everything works for that, right? So I can believe that it would take 4 years to like build an upper stage for a long distance. I mean, look how long it takes to Frank. Look how long it takes to get a regulatory approval for something in a fucking trade, let alone get something built to go to fucking space.
That's why I love Elon Musk, dude, because the things that he's done, that he's accomplished, people like think it's impossible, and he just goes, "I just did it."
I
I
mean,
mean,
Bezos
he-
has so much money, he should be colonizing Mars by now.
Bezos can't hold a fucking stick to Elon Musk.
But it
Bezos
doesn't. But it
is
doesn't matter. At some point, money trumps things.
yeah.
He's got
Well,
but you realize how much Bezos is worth, right? Like, the Bezos family's worth like 70
he's the richest
something
man in the
billion
world.
dollars or something like that.
Yeah, I know he's rich.
Elon Musk is only worth a few billion.
I I don't care about money. I'm
No,
talking
but
about
you need money to do what you're talking about. I'm just saying it's amazing that Elon Musk has been able to stay where he is, given that Bezos has his own little space agency and his own little things like that, and he has so fucking much more money than him.
I know, and yet Musk is firing off and land gigantic 50-story buildings, and Bezos has this.
Well, but Bezos is you. But no. You're Bezos. They're not stopping there, dude. Do you know anything about the new Glen?
Oh, of course they do.
Okay,
Of course they do.
so you know about the new Glen then, because the
Yeah,
new Glen is their rocket they're building.
the New Glenn will be the largest rocket to date.
Until
And,
SpaceX makes it not the biggest rocket again.
well, no, dude, SpaceX's second Starship blew up yesterday.
Oh, did it fucking
Just
explode again?
dude, it exploded so amazingly awesome. Like, it's just sitting there, dude, and the static the static fire, and it just was obliterated, and a glorious, just I would oh, it was humongous. He was humongous, dude. What an explosion.
Hold on.
Oh, and
Oh,
it
fucking
happened the
shit.
night before. It happens the night before we shoot two guys into
Frozen.
low Earth orbit.
So
It
weird. You're
takes a while.
frozen on the screen here for some reason.
I yeah, I noticed. I don't know why. You oh well. There I
Weird.
am.
That was a glitch.
Yeah.
Here. Look at here.
um, Yep.
Holy shit!
I
That
know,
is
dude.
such a
Yeah,
big explosion.
I know.
Look at
Yeah,
look at the top. Look at the top. Boom! Look at it shot a rocket jet out. Look at
dude.
this. Look right there. Look at this. Like just blast.
The top of it goes flying in the air, and it doesn't come down till about 2 minutes later. If you fast forward, you'll see something finally come down. Yeah. The thing with that, I mean, it's not that
There
noticeable.
it is right
I
there.
mean,
There it is
yeah.
right there. There it is. Look at.
Oop.
Here it comes. Look at watch on the left. Wait. Or maybe that was the bird I saw.
Yeah,
That's
no,
probably the
trust
bird.
me. Yeah, but my goodness, that's humongous. Like, that's a large explosion, man. That, like, they're really far away. Like
Oh yeah,
the
like
the
those are huge fucking containers on the side.
yeah, like that rocket, dude, was literally like the size of it. What was it about how tall is it again?
Since they
Fuck.
started testing this, they had
Yeah, how
swapped
tall
out
is
the
it?
engine with a new one,
I mean,
and they'd
Scott
added
Manley
this heavy mass
should tell us.
simulator at the top to try and make the vehicle
Can you
balance
pop his
more
voice
like
up?
the full thing with.
What are you saying?
I can't hear it.
Okay, well then you need to say that. Which you just
Oh,
did, but you should have said it a while ago when you couldn't hear it.
It's okay.
They had swapped out the engine with a new one, and they'd added this heavy mass simulator at the top to try and make the vehicle balance more like the full thing with their nose cone. So this footage is from NASASpaceflight.com. They've been doing live coverage with camera work by Boca Chica Mary, Boca Chica Gal. So after that test, everything was fine until about 90 seconds later, at which point the tank started leaking cryogenic propellant.
Oh shit, that's what happened. Look, there's a venter right here. Look it.
Right. Yeah.
That just lit up,
way,
or was that lit up the whole? No, that's what happened right there. Look at that baby.
I just want to say, Haywood, right on, man. It was an unexpected rapid disassembly.
Yep, it was one of those rapid disassemblies again.
Boca Chica Gal. So after that test, everything was fine until about 90 seconds later, at which point the tank started leaking cryogenic propellant profusely. It looked like it was spraying out. Now, there's two types of cryogens in there. There's liquid oxygen and there's liquid methane. And if liquid oxygen leaks, that's fine. But liquid methane, if it leaks, it is highly combustible. And if it finds an ignition source, then bad things...
If it finds an ignition source, fucking Jesus,
are going to happen, and that's exactly what happened.
Whoa! You can see where it catches too. Watch. Look at this.
Scott,
Look at this shit.
Scott.
What?
Liquid methane wants to do nothing more than blow up.
Like, watch this.
And if it finds an ignition source, then bad things are gonna happen, and that's exact.
That is so quick, eh? The way that goes down, eh? Holy.
You have that so slowed down. How slow is that?
This is quarter speed right now.
And that's
Mute it.
Look, there's where it actually started. Right there. See? Actually, look at right there.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Didn't start over there.
Yeah.
Look at that. Got it right there.
Right in the bottom, and just kabloomy.
Oh, I mean, it's like the next frame. It's like everything's gone. Look at. Don't do that to me. Fucking goddamn.
Dude, it was literally like instant.
That's the next fucking frame.
Jesus Christ!
Like, look at.
Yeah.
Look at.
And look at the top.
Then bad things are gonna happen, and that's exact.
It's like ignition. The next frame, boom. Think of the concussive blast in there.
Exactly what happened.
I was okay. You can. Yeah, dude. I was thinking like, I hope nobody was killed, because even I mean, and thankfully, yes, nobody was killed. So, but
that's awesome though. Look at that. Look at put out. Look at the bomb put out. Look at this. Look at it. Put out the venter. See?
Yeah.
The explosion. You know what I mean? Like when they put out the things in Iraq. Like watch. The explosion puts out this the pilot flame here for their venter. Watch.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, but
watch, it snuffs it from sucking all the oxygen away. It snuffs it. Boom. Puts it out. See, look at it's just empty now. See, no flame.
Well, I mean, isn't it burning off excess gases?
Well, that's what this would be. This would be doing. But it probably
Isn't
needs. What?
Isn't that what you were talking about, or no?
Well, this thing is burning off excessive gases. This is one of those little burn off things.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's
but what are you missing then? I don't understand.
Oh no, I was just making sure that's what you were talking about. That's
yeah.
all.
Well, but look at it's out now. See, that's what I was talking about. It's out. Yeah, like the oxygen got snuffed from it. It's like when they used to put oil rigs in Iraq. You know what I'm talking about with the oil rigs in Iraq, right?
To what extent? Like about what about them?
Do you know how they put out the oil rigs in Iraq after Saddam Hussein set them all ablaze?
Negative. How? What?
Just shut up, fucking Frank. I mean it joking. I'm going to teach you something, is what I said.
Okay, well, you cut out. I didn't hear you.
Sorry. Well, here, hold on. I'll turn my filter down then. You
I
dick.
said what?
There, that's better.
I
Then
said
you'll get
what?
cut out less. Here, just watch. Look at this is how they put out oil fires, like on oil rigs. You didn't know this? This is how they put them out in Kuwait. Watch.
I honestly don't know how they.
Oil fires, right? Okay, so do I need to teach you your own country's history, Frank? So when Kuwait but it is because you guys invaded. It's part of your history.
I know, but I don't know how they engineered I don't know how to fight an oil rig fire.
There, then you're gonna learn. See, here you go. This is what I'm teaching you. Watch. Watch. Watch this. Just watch.
A year ago,
So they had the fires.
next,
Let's get there. Let's get there.
prepared for their awesome challenge, the fears of what effect the fires might have grew more alarming and belched miles into the sky as the hellfires roared. No matter how experienced they are, the risks to the firefighters are always there.
Watch this. They rig up. See, watch. They rig up explosives.
It's a delicate, highly dangerous operation.
Explosive is nothing more than an expedient tool. And in wall control, we use it quite a bit, and it speeds up the job and then cuts down the time we spend on each blowout. And that's to the customer's
What, how
satisfaction.
hillbilly he is, or what?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, watch. Just watch. Watch this.
200 or 300 pounds of dynamite, wrapped in asbestos, are carefully placed into the heart of the fire. The asbestos must withstand a temperature of 2,000 degrees, and the suppressed tension affects everyone on the site.
Look at
The massive explosion blows away tons of rubble and coke. No matter how experienced they are, the risks to the firefighter.
Hold on, they'll show.
was a big
There's
fire.
gonna be a better one where they show you how they actually, like how it ended. Oh yeah, look at this. This is actually one of the newer devices.
The Hungarians recycled 34 tank to create a spectacular prototype called Big Wind. The throttles and
These things water and air.
Oh, that's cool.
And then another way is
Blowing it up, isn't that how they finally sealed the fucking pipe?
well,
in the
no, that
ocean?
one they had to clamp onto. BP, they had to clamp onto it. It's under the ocean.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But
No, but
Okay.
they had to clamp it and try to fill it with cement.
yeah, and they
Here,
what?
watch this. Here, watch for it. Because they keep the problem with these is they keep spraying out. So how do you stop a perpetual fire? Right? Oh, this one's just a heavy object. They're just gonna stuff it. Watch.
That's what I'm saying,
Oh, geez. It's like an extinguishing device. You see that?
Well, yeah, they capped it.
They
and
lowered
then
it
they-
right over top of it. Look at it, and then they just and then it puts something out. Watch, it's probably full of like, well, who knows? But look at watch. There's got a hole in the center so they can get it over and actually get it around it. Like watch. And then watch this. Boom.
Yeah,
They just
yeah,
shut her
probably.
down.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
But they
But,
used to use or Kuwait. How do you spell Kuwait? Kuwait. That's not how you spell it. Well, that actually is how you spell it.
KUWAIT.
Dynamite.
You know, I know my country's history. And it's KU.
watch this.
even if
That's the one we watched.
That's it down, man.
What?
You gotta turn it down a bit, buddy. That's really loud. That's all. You gotta turn it down a bit.
Anyways, they that's how they do it. They pop
wonder who
dynamite.
had
They pop
to-
dynamite over the wells, and that's how they pop them up because they're. Oh, that's the firefighting turbine again.
That's crazy.
I mean, the BP one. I think that they
I don't remember how they did it.
it was capped.
I'm
They like it.
I remember watching the oil just,
Just pour
spill out.
forever.
Oh, it was like I was watching them. I'm like, that's so bad.
Oh, it just kept going.
It wouldn't. It was like days. It was like what 90 some days.
Oh, it was a
Right?
long time. Yeah, it was months.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was like
So here's
3
them
months.
here's them actually getting there with this cap structure. I think they had to build this this specialized thing to put on it that if they could get it on it, which was hard.
Yeah, because how deep was it? Wasn't it like one of the deepest.
It was
One of
deep
the
enough.
more
I don't think you can
deep-
dive down there.
Yeah, of course not. I mean, the pressure is probably so great. I mean, yeah.
Go
But,
figure though. Humans punched a hole into the yeah. Here we go. Here it is. Right here. Watch.
what am I looking at?
Well, you're looking at the cap
Okay.
going over the
Yeah.
oils. That's the oil spewing right there. That's the crude. See?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, yeah. It's like, wow. And look what they've built around it. How many times they've tried already. Like the pipe.
No, I think that's where the
became-
pipe broke, basically, though.
Yeah, but it wasn't that big. You know, they did try a bunch of things before this. And wasn't the oil like really hot or something?
No, it's just it was all so deep. It was just hard to deal with. It's pressurized pipe, right? Like how do you cap something like that? They were supposed to when they work like this, they're supposed to have there's a robot right there, see?
Yeah.
When they work like this, they're supposed to have an automatic shutdown like valve, and they chose not to put it in, even though they're supposed to, and because they're trying to save some money. And because of that, when the unthinkable happened, which is what that valve's there for, the thing didn't automatically shut down. So then of course, it just sits here with just bleeding oil into the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know
Look
that
at the
oil
robot's
re-
pushing it. Do you see that? The robot's actually pushing it. Look, they got 2 robots down there. Yeah, robot's like,
it's-
get in there, you fucker.
it, that's not really that incredible to me, really. So
Kind of cool. Look, he's latched right onto it too. That took some
it's a
skill, boy, on
simple-
that operator's part. I can tell you. Look at this. Here it comes. He's like, "No, you let go, you son of a bitch."
And you thought all those hours of playing Grand Theft Auto isn't gonna
You know
come in?
shit, eh? Look at this. They were like, "We need somebody with gaming fingers. Get in here. There's a fucking
What do you
cable
mean?
in the way."
Go get all thumbs McGillicuddy in here.
Well, look at that, eh? Like he had to grab the cable and like get it out of the way and stuff. This thing's fucking not going on. At this point, they're like, "Fuck, fuck, 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 fuck." It's just they're just like,
basically
"This is not working the way we hoped. It's just not going on." Here we go. Here we go.
Dude, if humans could fix the Hubble,
This is
in-
arguably, I'm going to tell you right now, Frank, this is actually arguably harder to work in than space.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Pressure, working
I-
under pressure, this
Well-
is arguably harder to work in than no pressure.
I mean, humans, of course, but
And then a
robots.
cheer went up to the heavens when this thing latched onto. Look at it, here it goes sinking in, and the mechanisms are like latching on, and they were like, "Yay!" Oh my God! Look at.
And we can pump it into our cars now.
Yay! We can pump it back into the cars. Yay! Our cars are saved. I mean, the Earth is saved. Fucking shit.
Yeah, the Earth is safe. No, our fucking bottom, our quarterly earnings are saved.
Oh my God. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, because
That's
I
cool.
was always wondering why didn't they just blow it up?
Well, because there's
Seal
just a
that-
bigger hole. No, it's under pressure. Once you tap into it, it's like a straw that's pushing. So, like, for instance, Frank, you can't.
Down there.
Well, but like, Frank, if you've ever worked on like plumbing, you can't stop a leak that's constantly leaking.
So I can blow it up.
You can try.
I
But
don't
like when you
suggest-
said the whole thing about working in pressure, by the way, that reminded me of this.
it's good. Is it? Yep.
Yeah,
So anybody listening,
Futurama.
Sorry.
Oh, what are you talking about? This is podcasting. We're talking. We're having fun, playing clips and stuff. But here, listen. This is 15 seconds.
No, I'm looking.
100,
Yeah.
5,000 feet.
Dear Lord, that's over 150 atmospheres of pressure. How many atmospheres can the ship withstand? Well, it's a spaceship, so I'd say anywhere between 0 and 1.
It's always been one of my favorite fucking lines out of Futurama. It's where they were fishing on the ocean and a fish grabbed a hold of the unbreakable diamond tether, pulled them underwater. 5, 6, 7, 10 atmospheres. How many atmospheres can it take? Well, it's a spaceship, so anywhere between 0 and 1. Like, fuck, it's not made to go underwater. Like, goddamn. Like...
Oh, it's too funny.
It's like when those freaking flat earthers show those videos of them doing competitions where they crush tankers by pulling a vacuum on them and they eventually just conk. You've seen that, haven't you?
Of course. Yeah.
They just suck a tanker truck in, like, and it suddenly just crushes. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, tell you what. I'm like, tell you fucking. They're like, look, how could a spaceship ever exist with that much difference in pressure out there? I'm like, well, okay. So the difference is that that tanker was made with the ribs on the outside to keep the fucking pressure on the inside, you dipshit. Like it's not made to keep pressure fucking out. So yeah, when you put a lot of pressure on the outside, it just failed. Like, I mean, talk about taking something and doing what it's not designed for with it. Like,
It's a tank made to hold shit.
This fucking aircraft won't go underwater at all.
Well, this piece of shit, you know?
Oh my god.
This piece of shit submarine just will not get off the ground.
Yeah, fuck. I put wings on it, it just still won't fly. It seems like it's missing shit. Like, it's almost like this thing wasn't made for that function.
It's like I got on my bike today, and I'm like, why am I not in the air yet?
I don't understand. E.T. did it.
Yeah, it's an Elliot.
Fucking
Just
shit.
Elliot. That's it.
Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, it always blows my mind when they do something like, how could we do this like this? This can't even sustain that. And you're like, well, it's not made to either. Like, fucking shit. Like, I don't understand. Like, we need to get you into like a classroom where you learn the fundamentals of design. Like, you know, like this one they sat down and said, how do we keep pressure in without it exploding? And besides, a pop can, Jesus Christ, do you know how much pressure can be inside a pop can before? I mean, okay, so take a pop can and play football with it for 20 minutes. Do you realize how much pressure's inside that can? Way more pressure than it's on the outside of a space shuttle. Or like when it's in space, not while it's going through the atmosphere. That's a lot of pressure. But like a rocket up in space, there's nothing. It's 14.696. I bet you that can of pop has way more than 14.696.
Oh, soda can.
Yeah, a can, a soda can. Like you play football with it in the backyard. Shake it up. Blue 41, blue 42. Hut, hut, hut. Pass it around to your friends for a few minutes. I bet you that can's like 50 psi in there. Like,
sure.
4 times what pressure you'd get from outside to inside a spaceship. And yet they don't hold a pop can in their face and go, why isn't this exploding in my face? It's like, well, you see, it was designed for that. But tell you what, you want to make a pop can explode? You go do that, shake it up, ginger ale, pop, whatever. Shake it to fucking all hell, okay? Take it in your backyard. No, Frank, take it in your backyard. Put a BB through it. Put a BB or a pellet through it. Just go shoot it. Shake it all to hell and then go shoot it with a BB or pellet gun. One shot. It will literally blow up and split right in two almost. It'll rip the can in half as it explodes. Because that one little rip, all of a sudden, hold on a minute. We're not designed to have a rip in us. So all of a sudden, all that pressure just peels it open in an instant because there was a design flaw in the structure. Well, if they designed all the cans with this one little spot on the can that was super weak, well, guess what? When you shook the can up, it would fucking split in half like that. But it's because that can was designed to be shaken up and tossed around and not explode.
And by the way, quote of the day from Scott.
What?
We were not made to be split in half.
Except for my wife when I'm around. That's a different story, though. We'll talk later. She told me I look good. That's important, Frank. Come on. She's lusting. This is what I need. She was like, she said something to me about something. I think it was like sex related. I'm not gonna put the whole comment out in the air, but anyways, it was like I was just like I didn't say it, but I was like I can help you with that, you know. That's it. It's like, you know, I didn't lose any of the gear. I know we're kind of at odds a bit right now, but anyways.
So you know, you come lately?
You come what?
Just you know, just comes over and you go.
Come
"So,
lately?
Yeah.
You should have seen
You
the
want
train I
to?"
was running on those dudes last night. Oh, sorry.
So, have you had a cock in you?
No, I don't think that's what's happening here. We're working on things together, so I think I trust her. But yeah, other than that. But you know, it's a good thing to be hit on. You know, at some point a horse is gonna have to get to some water. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I can be that water. I could be that cold glass of water. Frank, what are you looking for? You looking for a song or something? So it looks
Stick
like
my
you're doing.
packet right in there. No, I meant to send my brother the link, and of course I didn't.
Oh, well, you suck. Because we're gonna be done soon.
I know.
Once
You
we
know, I
find-
was like, whatever.
Yeah, we're at
but-
an hour. We'll go a little bit longer here as we start wrapping up.
Yeah. So, again, I just want to say congrats to Doug and Ben. No, Doug and
Doug and Ron McKenzie up in
I mean,
space. Finally, they finally made it, eh? Oh yeah.
by the- our American astronauts couldn't sound more American than, I mean, Doug and Ben, or
It's Doug and Bob. It's like it's Doug
Yeah,
and
that's
Bob
it.
McKenzie. You know who I'm talking
Yeah,
about when I say
Bob-
Doug and Bob,
yeah.
right?
yeah, Bob and Doug, Doug and Bob,
Do you know who-
Bobby.
No, do you actually know who I'm talking about, or do you know the Doug and Bob McKenzie? Do you know who I'm talking
No.
about at all?
Yeah.
So you've missed out on half the fucking joke of their names, by the way, just so you know.
Probably.
Okay, so
Oh,
get
oh,
ready,
you-
get
you-
ready,
you
get
always
ready,
joke- All right. Settle. I'm
get
settling.
ready, fucking get ready.
Good day. How's it going? Okay. Boy, like I don't know what's going on. Why the letters didn't come up?
The letters?
Yeah.
Oh, there they are.
Okay.
Great white.
This is Bob and Doug McKenzie. This is the guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and he's from other shit.
Welcome to the Great White North Canadian Corner. I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug.
How's it going, eh?
And today's topic, what was it?
How come Americans have
right.
twist off beer caps?
Yeah. Okay.
And
So like
Canadians don't.
this is Canadian beer, right? And like here's a regular top, and you open it, right? But American ones, they don't have any, right?
They
'Cause-
twist off. Eh?
You ever seen them?
Yeah, I have.
I was talking to them. Okay, so they go like jam or ketchup or other twist offs. The American beer is like that. Why is our topic? Okay, go.
Okay, the reason why, is that Canadian beer is like stronger, has more alcohol in it.
Really?
Yeah. And Americans got to drink more, so they don't have time to look for church keys and openers, so they just like whip them up and drink, whip them up and drink, whip them up and drink. That way they get more down in them in less time, and then get the same effect. But my question to you guys is, why? Why not just put more alcohol in your beer, and then you don't have to twist them all off, eh?
Right.
Plus, you'll then buy more of these and keep the guys who make these in business. And it's better for business and everything.
And beer. Better beer.
Sure.
How did you know that about like more alcohol in Canadian beer?
Because it says so on the label, hose head. You never read that. I read labels of
So
everything.
you've never like these guys are fucking. It's.
Oh, dude.
Hold on. I don't know why this went to a different channel than.
Canadians are so adorable.
This is an old fucking. This is from
Oh, I'll
years
do
ago.
the intro this time. He's chug lugging a beer.
Oh.
No, that's
Hi,
Doug.
Rick
Welcome
Moranis.
north. I'm Doug McKenzie.
He's not
This
Rick
is my brother
Moranis?
Bob. eh?
What?
Is that Rick Moranis?
Yeah, it's Rick Moranis. Fuck.
Good, eh? You're supposed to say how's it going.
How's it going?
That's my line, eh? He took
Holy
it this week.
Jeez, we're burning here.
Okay,
He's cooking fucking eggs on the set.
French, eh?
On his
From
fucking
the point of view
Coleman.
of, back bacon and beer.
Okay, like you got separatism, right? And like the most important thing to remember when you're making back bacon is like it comes in the pouch, right? And like don't dump the whole thing in, but separate all the individual pieces and put them in the pan. So like we got like 4 going right now, right? So we'll have like 2 each, well, which really isn't fair because you had like 15 beers. So like I should get more, right?
I was thirsty, eh?
Yeah, well, decent. Geez, this is real hot.
Okay, so those 4 pieces of back bacon, eh, are like symbols, you know?
What's
What the? They must.
what,
Okay, this is
what's
almost
back,
ready.
Sorry, what you said?
what is back bacon?
Well, Canadian bacon is not bacon, it's ham. Why do you think my membership thing is fucking ham? One of the emotes is ham, fuck, not bacon. It says bacon on it, but it's ham. How are you just discovering that Canadian bacon has always been ham? Like here we have Canadian bacon and bacon, because one of them is fucking ham.
Yeah, I know Canadian bacon is.
Well, then that's what he's
anyway.
talking about. Canadian bacon. It's back bacon. I think it's ham.
Represent the 4 parts of Canada that.
Well, I just don't think that. Yeah, I don't think he. I don't think they. Fuck, where's the one about? Oh man, there's one about pajamas and shit.
You blew my mind with the whole coffee chocolate thing. I sent Phoenix three shipments of it from Amazon, and all 3 times it was just a box of melted chocolate goo.
What, coffee crisp?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where the fuck are they sending them from? Korea?
It doesn't matter. He lives in Phoenix.
Listen.
Okay, good day. Welcome to the Great White North. Go. Go again. Beautiful. Okay, good day. Welcome to the Great White North. I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug.
How's it going, eh?
And whoa, did you hear about what? Well, you can tell.
Okay, you hear about the guy who like was opening a beer, eh, and like went to drink and then did the stupid thing of looking in the bottle and whoa, there's a mouse in his bottle, eh?
Real mouse. Well, I guess it was dead, right? Drowned from beer and drunk too.
Like it died. Smile on its face, eh?
It died from drunk driving in the bottle. But you know what the guy got? Tell him.
A whole case of beer.
Right.
So our topic today is how to stuff a mouse into a beer bottle without breaking its bones.
Right.
So that they'll look at it and give you a case and not think you hosed them by deliberately stuffing one in, eh? It's like shipbuilding in a bottle.
It's
okay?
like shipbuilding.
And like the thing to remember is, let's say you get a 6-pack, right?
Yeah.
6 mice, right?
6 mice.
Okay. You get a case for each beer bottle with a mouse. So a case of 2-4, right? A square for like times 6. What's 6 times 24?
Jeez, I don't know. Calculator, eh?
Okay,
Can't figure that
6
out.
times 4 is
Way to
24.
gross me out on the air and
Okay.
make me look dumb.
No, I'll do it. You tell him more about it.
Okay,
4 is
so
24.
what you do is the idea is to get a baby mouse that you can like put in an empty beer bottle and feed it in the bottle for like a month, and then fill the beer bottle up with beer and put a cap on it. and then-
104.
Yeah, 104 beers you get just for that.
He's wrong. He's
Beauty.
fucking wrong.
And
too,
then
isn't he?
what do you get back?
No.
104.
It's like 140 or something. 140 something.
Yeah,
Okay,
that,
but you get a lot, eh, so it doesn't matter if it's like 100 or what. All you know is get baby mice, put them in there,
144.
feed them for like a month, and then
No, it's 24
your
times 6, not 20. So it'd be.
Yeah.
Well, you got to do
144.
4. You got to do 4 times 6 still too, which is another 30. So it's 150.
100 and
good day, eh? We don't have time for you to do your math.
144.
He flunked out of grade 6.
Almost 144.
No, it's 150, dude. I'm telling you.
No, 144.
What?
It's 144. Yeah. It's 24
look at
times
that.
6.
Where
Yeah.
the fuck did I go wrong here?
I don't know.
Oh,
but
4 times 6. That's where I went wrong. So I did 6 times 6, dumbass.
Well, he said 24, and I was just like, okay.
Eat shit.
144.
I don't know where I went wrong. it's fucking late. I'm tired. I don't want to do math. Why are we doing math? I'm kidding. But yeah, this is old SCTV shit. This is old
Yeah,
Canadian
the
television
math-
from the heyday. So that's why if you saw any jokes about Bob and Doug McKenzie, Or Bob and Doug, going to space. That's why, because they were Bob and Doug. Well, this is Bob and Doug right here.
I've never
The
seen
other
this
Bob
movie.
and Doug.
But you remember the Red Green show?
Well, I mean, absolutely. Red Green is the best thing in the fucking world.
It's the greatest show ever made.
No, okay, okay. He's gonna just okay, he's gonna do that like that. Hey, listen, why don't you? No. He fucking just, and you see him just do. Oh my god, the stuff that they built on that show.
Like, I mean, being in Jersey, like it was something you might have caught once a month. Like,
Oh, that's like
morning.
he's like a Canadian hero, for Christ's sakes.
Well, I figured you watched a whole lot more than I
Oh,
have.
Red Green is literally, like I said, he's a Canadian hero. Now, Frank, have you seen what? We'll go to Red Green in a minute, but have you seen what Kevin James has been doing lately?
No.
You know who Kevin James is, right?
Who? Silent.
Paul Blart
Silent.
Mall Cop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What about him? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of.
That's what everybody says, but you might be.
I mean, I don't not like him.
That's what I'm saying. You might find out. Hold on a second. Ads.
I mean, I never watched Mall Cop.
Well, I'm not talking about Mall Cop, so fuck that movie. It's a terrible movie. Here.
I guess you saw it then.
Well, I mean, I've seen it. It's not like it's. I mean, I've seen lots of movies. It doesn't mean yeah.
There's pizza.
Pizza reheat.
ASMR pizza reheat. It's comedy, of course, man.
It's great. It's entertaining. It's funny.
Garlic sprinkles.
It's dun 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 dun. What?
He's reheating a slice of pizza.
Yeah, it's
Is
just
that what he's
reheating a slice of pizza. It's pizza reheat.
Pizza reheat.
So,
Last night.
here, but like, look at watch. Here, look at, watch. Braveheart.
Wow.
Watch.
His YouTube,
What?
his YouTube channel is substantial.
Well, any of these movie stars, as soon as they put out a YouTube channel, they've got millions of subscribers typically. He's got 400-something thousand. He's doing fine. Here, look at, or what is it? No, it's, 500,000. He's going up quick. But like, look, watch. This is why he's fucking going up quick. He's funny. Watch.
I know he's funny.
Just watch.
I'm dying in your beds many years from now.
Sorry, we got a plane. Hold for plane, please. All right, we'll take it again. We're good.
Would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance?
Mel, I'm sorry, guys. We got another plane. Sorry about that. It was a good take.
It's just all them catching fucking airplanes.
Just one chance to come back here and tell our
Nope.
He keeps fucking. And then hold on.
Last night.
Hold on, we'll get like there's like. Watch. I'll get another one here. The sound guide ones are funny. Like, watch the Joker one. Watch this. Have you seen the Joker? I haven't seen it, by the way.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
not gonna waste my time.
Well, I probably wouldn't either, but it doesn't matter. Here, watch. Look Like, he just inserts himself to all these fucking movies, man. Like,
It's funny because it's exactly what it is. There was a guy that
I wish I would stop playing that fucking intro. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to be subscribed. It'll stop doing that to me. Yeah, like look at this one. Look at this one. Watch. It's a fucking bologna sandwich.
Butter eclipse.
Okay, that's why you said ASMR.
Well, yeah, it's just to fucking be funny. Like, twirl, bologna twirl. Okay, so to the audience listening right now, we're literally zoomed in on a pan of bologna sizzling, and he's slowly in slow motion with all that sound flipping the pieces of bologna as they bubble.
ASMR is a new thing, so not everybody has heard of it.
It's actually quite common that people are actually susceptible to ASMR. They just need to sit down and do like a bit of a meditational style thing where they just don't think about anything and they listen to the sounds. And it actually works on me, apparently. So this is not ASMR, though. This is him making fun of ASMR. Well, because ASMR has to... That's why they're Slurpee. Listen. Like, he made everything, like, slurping there. Like, watch when things squirt. Watch. He's like... It's like...
Spicy brown mustard squirt.
Like, that's not real sounds. See, like... Watch when he leaves. Like, it always has the recipe. Watch. Bologna sandwich.
Bologna sandwich.
I got... Okay, I'll give you one more. There's fucking sound guy ones are funny here. Hold on. There's like... the I Am Legend one. Like, watch.
Hey! Hey!
Exterior Grand Central Station, take one. Whoa. No, sir. It's all right. Just trying to get some wild sound.
What the hell are you doing out here, Fred?
I'm the sound guy. Just trying to get sound, Will. Just a wild sound from out here, so just keep it quiet.
Hell?
Sir, every time you speak, I gotta start from scratch. It's a start over.
Sir, we can do this. If you're really doing it, tell me.
I skipped ahead to the audience. I just trying not to copy his stuff completely here. It is his content.
I don't think so. Put it down. Yeah. I am legend. No. Yeah.
Damn it, Fred!
Now I get my tone. Everybody quiet on the set. You want to stop? Quiet on the set. Let's get it. Exterior Grand Central Station. Could have been easy. All right, that's good. That's lunch.
Anyways, there. I accidentally clicked the ASMR. Hold on 1 second here. Anyways, that's funny, eh?
I didn't get the joke though.
It's just
that
that
one
is
was
the joke.
weird.
Stop booming out. That is the joke. He's just inserting himself into movies. It's no different than me doing the cradle your balls thing with my joke.
Oh, stop.
I'm joking. Well, it's true.
No, what I'm saying is like, was he acting like that? It was a gun with blanks, like, or was he acting like he actually killed somebody?
Acting like he was just being an idiot.
Okay, I got it.
I think your mind is trying to meta too hard.
Oh, that would be the first.
Well, I get it. ADHD will do that to you, but like I'm doing pretty good at starting to unmeta from some things. So like, no, I think you're just thinking too meta on that one. I think that the joke was, I think you hit the joke and you kept going is the problem there, Frank.
Yeah, I do overanalyze too much.
I do as well. That's the ADHD thing for you. That's us.
Still, by the way, that call, that message you left on Mark Sargent's answering machine. I don't know how many times you've done that since the first time.
I've only done it like twice now. What was the message? I can't even remember.
Well, the first 10 seconds was you saying your name. You said your name in about 7 different ways of someone could say their name.
I don't think so. Oh, Brainy Beaver, Scott. Like, I got different names that go by here.
Yeah, I know. You let him know that. And he was well aware that your name was Brainy Beaver and Scott.
Doesn't matter. He needs to know. Listen, flat earthers are pretty fucking stupid, okay? So you really got to lay it out for them so that they can follow you.
Well, I mean, yeah, yeah, he's an idiot. My point being is, I just thought it was funny because when I was watching, I'm like, wow, I wonder what his name is.
Fair enough. Oh, here we gotta shut her down. We're getting long now. Not to just close her off, but we gotta start thinking about powering her down there, Frankie.
Some ASMR podcast for Frank and Phoenix to review, but they were too. It's okay. It's okay, Greg. We made each other suffer enough. I think I'm really glad we ended that show because that was starting to get ridiculous. It was starting to become like, you know, what does Phoenix hate that I know that he hates? Okay, we're and then so we just started basically making each other listen to 3 podcasts that they absolutely cannot stand the topic about. Yeah, and then we just started, finding anything and everything to talk shit on the people from the podcast on for no reason whatsoever, totally unprovoked, just because we came up with a topic idea, just to fuck with each other. It was starting to become a little bit like it was funny at first and it was a good idea and it worked, but then towards the end, just started feeling like a bunch of bullies, so we stopped doing it.
That's funny.
But
You see the chick cry on Team Skeptic's stream the other day?
no,
They made a chick cry. They made a flat earther cry.
Good.
Yeah. I agree, but it's funny. He's like, he told her, he said, well, we're not gonna, try to keep you on and make you feel that way, and he let her go. But then as soon as she was gone, he's like, fucking cry on here. He's like, I'm not gonna keep you around if you're gonna cry, like, because it's such a bullshit, She didn't bring any evidence, and they, because she's being incredulous, they start throwing it in her face a little bit, and then she fucking cries like a victim.
It's absolutely 100% impossible for them to ever bring evidence, right?
Well, yeah, of course. But anyways, that's a subject for another time. I don't want to fire us back into another one. We're at an hour and a half, and I do have to get some sleep at some point, Frank. I'm not trying to like shut her down hard, but we got to start steering the ship in the right direction. You and I will talk forever.
I'm done, dude. I still gotta make it to the music store before they leave.
Jesus Christ, dude! It's 1:30 in the morning your time.
Jesus Christ, dude! I slept till 4. Is it, yeah.
Time has no meaning to Frank anymore.
Yeah, there is no such thing as a schedule or any one reason. And nighttime is when I do my best.
Well, before you play us out, we got to do the YouTube send off though, because before you play any music. Okay.
I know. I'm just getting it ready.
You get it ready, and then you tell me when you're ready, and then you say goodbye to people. You say goodbye, goddammit.
Yeah, but where can they find you out there, buddy?
They can find me at Brainy Beaver. They can find me on other people's podcasts when I'm not dropping certain types of words. They can
get over it.
He'll get over it. It's okay. Things turned out fine, I think, but it was a mistake. But anyways, moving forward. So Brainy Beaver, shaved_beeve on Twitter, and I've only been removed for hateful speech once. I'm doing okay. This is that flat earther. He followed me around just so he could wait for me. Listen, I told the province of Alberta that I wish they'd be hit by a meteorite so I could stop hearing them bitch for once. And that was apparently targeting. That was like, I guess I was like wishing harm on people, which I in a long sort of way I kind of was, but you know what I mean. That's a little bit excessive, I guess.
Yeah, I would hope. I mean, I wish, a meteor would come out of the sky and just take New York right out.
Well, this is what I mean. It's a turn of. It's like, come on, like, give me a break.
It's a rivalry.
I'm doing, like, give me a break. It was me being like, it was. Come on, it was like the statement was like, if all of a sudden Alberta didn't exist, I wouldn't have to hear them bitch and moan the whole time. Like, give me a break. Like, I really wish the whole province dead. Fucking
what kind of a snowflake were you doing fucking YouTube.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't him. It was that there was the flat earthers are flat earthers, and they'll do whatever they do. And one of them would just follow around and look for. He literally spends his whole day. Okay, if I look right now at this person I'm talking about's tweets, I bet you they've tweeted in the last 3 minutes.
Oh, it's like that.
It's like that. So they spend their entire day on Twitter, and what he does when he doesn't like you, and you've proven him to be a bunch of clown shoes, is that he'll just sit there and follow you every tweet you make and wait for you to say something that's hateful, and then he'll report it. So, you know, something that could be even, but then he brags about it. I'm like, congratulations, you're the greatest Twitter SJW there ever was. Like, it's
You gotta send me his Twitter name because I have 2 accounts that I use to fuck with people.
it's
with.
at try_thinking. He's been on try_thinking. Try thinking.
How ironic.
Well, no shit. He's definitely handicapped in some way. But anyways, whatever. They be doing. I blocked him, so you know it's harder for him to do what he got to do. He's got like 50 different like little bot accounts though. So.
Oh, dude, I have so many like email accounts from Yahoo because SiriusXM for about 10 years would give you like a month subscription for free when you just send them your email. It was like an email address, and they send you a code, and then you put the code in the app, and the entire app works.
I couldn't
right?
be bothered to do that once a month. That's for sure.
Dude, I got it down to 40 seconds to make a new email address on Yahoo and then to submit that to SiriusXM and then have Opie and Anthony back up and running again. It would take me 40 seconds each month. Yeah.
Oh, Bev, what a dipshit. Hard Hayward knows what I'm talking about, Bev. Bevel? He's going to bring his Bevel to the debate. He'll bring his Bevel. We call it a Bevel, a level. We got a Bevel. His name's Beverly. I don't know what his name is. We call him Bev. His name's Bev. Try thinking, and he brings his Bevel. That's what we say. Anyways, anything you want to say on the way out? It's Brainy Beaver for me, shaved_beav on Twitter, and you, Frank, are from the Indies car. I think it's NASCAR podcast. I'm kidding. He's fucking just shaking right now. Go ahead.
Don't be cursing me.
Don't you cursing me?
I'm not joking. We don't say that word on the show. We call it the N-word.
NASCAR? The that's the other end. That's fair enough. Continuing forward from this joke though.
Yeah.
I don't want to linger around that one too long.
Yep. Yeah, Jared said it to me the other day. I was like, "Don't you curse me, Jared." He's like,
So say where they can find you, Frank.
LLNKZ or reddragonsradio.com. Everything's there. Just go to reddragonsradio.com and listen to some good stuff. And if you're not into racing, listen to the podcast. We're finally going back racing next weekend. Finally, we're back. It's like life is getting back in order, and I made my first good cup of coffee again since I don't have to tell the fucking idiots what I want. I can do it myself again. Thank God.
Yeah. Fuck them, eh?
Yeah. Not being able to make your own coffee sucks. I don't know why people go to Dunkin' Donuts. Fuck that shit. So anyway, but yeah, go there, and thanks for coming out, everybody. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. So Scott, see you next week, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna send this out, but I'm not gonna send you the audio. Which, oh, good, you're not gonna get the audio. Good. All right, Screaming Beaver.
Wait, more of this.